first, I'm going to start off by rinsing the wheels. Then I'm using my IK foamer. I'll foam up the wheels, let it sit there for a little bit, then rinse it, and then we can move on to the car.
Oh, we still filming this?
Yeah, I'm looking at car detailing videos.
Since when do you clean anything?
Joey, you know what the top 10 emails I get are?
What's that?
Number 5, we need a unicorn for our triad. I don't know what that means. I get that email all the time. Number 4, if you don't tell her I will, I keep getting this email. Please leave me and my family alone. Number 3, free supercharging on Cybertrucks. Tesla, I get it. You sold 6 so far. No one's interested in buying a Cybertruck. Number 2 is from my bank saying my account is overdrawn. But the number 1 email I get is my Model 3 battery died. Now, I don't own a Model 3, so I've never felt the crippling superiority complex of reminding people that I bought my car before Elon went crazy, and therefore I'm better than you. But I do like helping people. So in the sake of content creation and eternal suffering, apparently, I went out and I bought the cheapest Model 3 that I could find. But it has a battery issue. The seller described it as it just needs to be rebalanced. He even showed me the screen that said, your battery is healthy. That's about as reassuring as when your girlfriend says, it's okay, the big one's hurt. So today we're gonna show you what it's like when your Model 3 battery taps out. But it's okay, because you probably bought yours before he went crazy.
Oh, we're still cleaning things, huh?
Yeah, that's the new me, baby. All right, Joey, what do you got for me?
Well, I got some good news and I got some bad news.
What's the good news?
Well, the good news is I found you a Model 3.
All right, good. Is it cheap?
Well, yeah, it's cheap.
Okay.
It's got a bad battery.
That's even better for content. Go ahead.
All right, you ready for the bad news?
What's the bad news?
It's in your favorite place in the world. New Jersey.
No, not going. Nope. I hate New Jersey.
Come on.
Hate New
It's
Jersey.
cheap. It's cheap, dude. It's cheap.
Watch
Just get
this.
in the truck.
What,
Just get in the truck.
Watch this. Watch this. This is how much I hate New Jersey. Look at this. New Jersey, right? Look at this. Oh, toll. That's not bad. $3. $5. What's that? What's the admin fee?
Why
is going over a toll booth $100?
I don't know.
I hate New Jersey. I hate New Jersey.
Okay, well, anyway, so I found it there. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
and I already paid the guy.
Well, we're not going, so it's fine. We're here at this super sketchy dealership, and I just purchased a Model 3 in New Jersey, which are probably the 2 worst scenarios I could ever imagine. A, me being in New Jersey, and me having a Model 3. 2 worst scenarios ever. And we've come into a problem here. So, bought the Model 3, dealership's closed. He said he'd leave the key outside the dealership. I'm not even sure if this is a legitimate person or not, but it says maximum battery charge level reduced. You go to learn more, and it gives you all the details. Like, everything is terrible. Maximum battery charge level reduced, okay to drive, schedule service. Because it says it's giving me a whole bunch of BMS errors. I'm going to look those up afterwards, but this is what happens when you buy a car sight unseen. I fell for the oldest trick in the book. The guy was like, hey, yeah, you know what? Sometimes the range shows 200 miles, sometimes it shows 20. It's intermittent. I'm like, yeah, okay, but like looking at this does not seem intermittent at all. This is clearly, there's an issue here. Okay, the last paid charging session was $2. Interesting.
What's that mean for us?
April 30th.
How are we getting back?
I don't know. So that's $1.57. Why would you ever only put $1.57 worth of charge as a supercharger into this car? There's definitely a battery problem. Clearly, $1.57 worth, that'll probably get them to about where they are here. The battery only charges to about 15%, 20% at the most. At the most. So they're closed. We could either take the car, or we could leave it and say, I want my money back. And we could bang their door down and complain, even though he's going to say you guys bought it as is. I'm guessing, I don't know, what do you think we should do? Should we just take it and just pray and spray? Because
yeah,
there's no, you know what, hold on a second. Where's the nearest supercharge? I am never coming back to New Jersey again.
Yeah, I don't want to be there.
I'm not coming back to New Jersey again.
I hate it here.
So we'll just take it and figure it out. Maybe people want to see a video of it, who knows. But I have to fix this battery issue because it's only giving 20 miles of range. I can't stop every 20 miles to get stuff. So, I have some names here. Chris and Jen. Listen, guys, this is where you're gonna mess up. If I type in home, oh baby, let's go to navigation. Let's go to nav, baby. Where's home? Found your house.
Ooh.
I found your house.
In Connecticut.
Whenever you're trading in a car, always make sure that you clear your home address out of there. This isn't gonna work at all. It's not gonna work. But you know what does work? Squarespace. It has tons of web page tools to help with your needs and all of these awesome page templates to match your style. But you can also start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. You can choose from professionally curated layout and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up. It's tailored to your brand or business and optimized for every device. You can launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated, optimized SEO tools, and you could show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. They also have flexible payments. You can make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools. You can take credit cards and PayPal and Apple Pay, and in some countries offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay. Head to www.squarespace.com/richrebuild to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using the code in the description box below. Shout out to Squarespace for making platforms with people's passions, no matter how crazy they are.
Now the moment of truth.
All right, Joey, I'm gonna give you your first lesson on Tesla ownership right now, right? So
You tow your car? Is that step
you
one?
pretty much tow it to wherever you want to go. So you push this here, open the supercharging port, and this is the biggest thing right now. We want to see how much more this is going to charge and whether or not it's still connected to the previous person's account and it's charging them.
So like they're gonna pay for our stuff?
They're going to, well, unless they took off their credit card and they disabled their Tesla account and officially transferred it over, which I don't think they did.
Well, they left their house in there, so.
That's very true. At the same time, it might ask for authorization from a different credit card if they remove theirs from the system. So I don't know if they still have their credit card in their Tesla account. So this may or may not charge.
Wait, it's not like a gas pump where you just walk up and you're just like, here's my money, take it?
Not really, no. You have to have it connected to a Tesla account so they know how to bill you accurately.
Well, that's dumb. Why can't you just swipe a credit card?
You figured there'd be a tap on it. It'd be a lot easier. I know. No, Tesla, they pretty much just want your information. They want to know where you live, how you live, you know, how many people you slept with and stuff. So this is for twofold, right? First, we're going to check to see whether or not it could supercharge. And that's a big deal. Remember, the initial plan was to actually have this car drive back from New Jersey. But now we're going to see whether or not that was even a possibility. So let's try it out. And let's see how bad the battery is, too.
What's it saying?
It says supercharging. Time remaining 50 minutes. So it is charging. It should be going up faster than that. It's still at 13%, but we'll give it a little bit and see what happens. But guess what, Joey? Someone else is paying for our charging right now.
I like it. How do you do that with the truck?
Yeah, I wish. I know.
1 day later.
What's happening now? Why is it going so slow?
So the charging rate is slowing down significantly. Right now it's at 8 kilowatts and it's charging at about 20 miles an hour. So this is like the same speed as level 2 pretty much. So it's stuck at 13%. Yeah.
Should probably go over this thing. I was a little scared at the last spot.
Yeah, no, it was super suspicious. But yeah, it says time remaining 50 minutes. Yeah, there's a couple dents here. Remember, it's sight unseen. And I got to say, for sight unseen, I've done worse.
It is a car, so that's cool.
It is a car. Yes, it does exist. And it is on the trailer. Okay, wait, it says, yeah, maximum charge level reached.
Maximum?
Yeah.
What's it at, like 15?
Yeah, it's at 13%. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts, we're gonna get some food, go to the bathroom. When we come back, the car will be on fire. But thankfully it's on the trailer. And what I'll do, we're gonna disconnect the trailer and then drive off and leave the Model 3 on fire right where it is. No, the Model 3 did not catch fire. We let it charge for an additional 10 minutes or so, and the percentage did not go up any higher. It stayed about 14%. So it shows that there is clearly an issue with the battery. We've determined that we are going to keep the Model 3. We are going to fix it to show you guys the process. But I think this is a pretty good segue into if this does happen to you and you're at the side of the road, your Model 3 only charges at 20%, and you have to get somewhere. The best way to do it, okay, you go online, and you book a ticket with Spirit, and Spirit is going to charge you additional fees for baggage, here's what you do. You take that baggage and you ship the baggage back using ShipStation, right? Not bad, right? ShipStation. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to ship your orders. In just a few clicks, you're managing orders like a professional, printing out discounted shipping labels. It works with all the major carriers, USPS, FedEx, UPS, and even international shipping. You compare and choose the best shipping option every time. They have big discounts on shipping costs, and you can access the same postage and discounts that are usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies, which is probably not you. You calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping solution that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/richrebuilds for your free trial. Again, that's shipstation.com/richrebuilds. Now, Joey and I are going to take a seat in the car and see what service mode says about the battery status. So right now we're inside the Model 3, and I think we should do a deeper dive into what's going on with the battery. And I know before we just kind of saw the alerts that kind of said unable to charge. So, okay, A079, BMS unable to charge, unable to charge. That's just insufficient grounding for stuff. So we kind of know what's going on. It's having some BMS issues, which is, as you know, battery management system.
Yeah,
now you're a pro now.
Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about these cars.
So now we're actually going to go to service mode for these cars, right? So service mode, you go here.
So what's that? What's service mode?
Service mode is going to give you like the advanced diagnostic information on the car. So like it'll tell you
like anyone can do that?
Pretty much, yeah. Seriously, you go to service.
You don't need to have like a code or anything?
No special code, no nothing. It's a universal code that everyone uses.
It's like having a code reader, like OBD2.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just tells you.
You hold this. And by the way, this thing having 160,000 miles, you type in service. Enter service mode, and this tells you all the details. For 160,000 miles,
Intel app.
It's not bad. It really held up well for $160. So if we go to high voltage battery, right? Battery.
I'm assuming the red means bad.
The red means good. No, I'm kidding. The red means it's not good at all. Ooh. So this right here, that's the penthouse where all the high voltage contactors and fusers live. That's like right behind us in the back seat. Let's see. State of charge, imbalance, high voltage battery requires replacement.
Imbalance, does it mean like the cells are different?
Yeah, the cells are not balanced. So pretty much like the delta between the lowest voltage in the pack versus the highest voltage, it's way too high.
So is it 4 sections? Is that why there's 4 of them?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, this is four sections here. It looks like half the pack is bad, but I don't think this is an actual representation of the percentages of the pack that's bad. I think it just shows like, hey, there's some problems here.
Gotcha.
So there are some things you can do. You could start high voltage discharge.
What's that mean? Like shooting lightning bolts?
Pretty much, yeah.
Seriously, like what does it do?
No, really, it discharges the pack for you, because sometimes when you're putting these in service mode, and you want to do like a battery pack service to it, right?
Yeah.
You could go to start HV discharge, meaning it'll slowly discharge the pack on its own.
Okay.
Some people have done that by just turning on the heat and like running the heat, because that's one of the accessories that wears it down the most. Or they'll just drive aggressively and wear it down. But there's actually a manual way of doing this now. But it's known as it's an advanced feature.
Gotcha. What do you have to swipe your credit card?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like BMW?
Insert card to continue.
Yeah.
You seen those memes where you tap your card to do anything? Yeah. Use your turn signal, tap the card. So you need service mode plus. So that's exactly. So all these are locked. So clear block contactors, service mode plus. Clear isolation conditions, service mode plus. So a lot of these you need like the advanced level of support to do stuff with, which is, you got to pay for it. So driver assist stuff, cameras and sensors. It tells you what every sensor in the car is doing. You know what I mean? Like if the power's on, like what the temperature of different sensors are. That way it's easier to calibrate. But the main thing we want to go for is the high voltage interlock loop, meaning power is flowing in and out of the battery properly. So HVIL stands for high voltage interlock. So pretty much all the high voltage that flows through the car, the drive unit, or even the heater, the PTC heater. That's how the car's heated. Yeah, let's go back to here.
This is like science class.
It's kind of cool, right?
It is cool. Interesting, but So in depth for like an average person that doesn't know anything.
They don't care about any about this, but this is mostly for like the service techs, right?
Oh, I gotcha.
So I would like to, okay, so BMS imbalance, the 27th of May. Interesting. The BMS detects a possible state of charge imbalance. Maximum reduced to 50%.
So like trade it in?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Like,
this is trade the car in mode, make it someone else's problem mode.
Yeah.
And what the dealership said was, they said, oh, it just needs to be balanced. And like they made it seem like it was this super easy thing where you discharge the battery and you slowly bring it back up. That's the most wrong thing ever. That is not.
This is what I do for a living.
Yeah, no. So they
that guy's just lying to you.
Yeah, he's just pretty much lying. So I want to tell people, don't fall for that. If they tell you it just has to be balanced, you need a new battery pack. What I do want to see though, I think I want to use a different tool to get on a cellular level. So there's other tools you could use that aren't part of the Tesla ecosystem, where you could actually narrow down and look at specific areas within the battery shows. It'll actually tell you the individual cell voltages, like 3 volts, 2 volts, 1 volt. And if the delta is too big, it'll say, okay, there's a big problem here.
So do you have to do the whole battery, or can you just do pieces of it?
Well, you should. A lot of people, there's 2 different ways of doing it, right? You could either replace the actual individual, what we call them, our modules.
Yeah, like the box things.
The big box
seen
things.
those, yeah.
Those are a nightmare because if you have to balance it perfectly, like once you put the new module in, because the car is like, it was married with all these things.
Gotcha.
It knows everything about different voltages. It knows, you know what temperature they should be, etc. But when you put a new one in, even if you try to make it the same, it's just not the same.
I got
you. Know, it's like having a girlfriend, right? You have a girlfriend, and you do a blindfold test.
Yep.
So like, if you're in the dark and a woman kisses you, like you kiss 5 different women, and like, they all feel good, but it's not quite the same. Like you're looking for that specific kiss. You know what I mean?
I thought a win was a win.
A win, honestly, that was a bad example because I'd be like, "Oh, this is cool.
This is great. The best day ever.
It's the best day of my life."
I mean, no, this is terrible.
It's terrible, but like the Tesla isn't the same thing. It knows like, hey, listen, like as you charge it more and more, it's used to the specific state of charge and the charge rates. So eventually they're going to become out of balance. So you could do that that way as well. You could also take out the individual bricks, and you could actually snip the individual fuses because every cell is fused. You could snip the fuses so it doesn't even see them. So if ones are acting up, you snip it out, and it's not part of the pack anymore. However, that will reduce your overall range.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll probably end up taking this pack out and taking a closer look at it so you can see what the individual cells look like. We actually do have one upstairs from a Model S, but a Model 3 is very different.
Do they look like the P1 things? The things we cut out of Freddie's car?
Pretty much, but the P1 ones are technology from 10 years ago, so they're huge.
Oh.
Whereas they're a lot smaller. So I got to say, again, for 160,000 miles, the car held up well. It stinks the battery didn't, but this is one of the things they don't tell you on the forums. Like what they'll tell you is they'll say, hey, look, there's a site on Facebook called Mileage Impossible where they'll say, oh my gosh, my car made it to 500,000 miles, and there's so many success stories. But like, you don't really hear about this. You don't really hear about, hey, listen, I had my car for 5 years. It needs a new battery. Is it even worth it? So this kind of blows.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do with this car. There's a lot. They made it pretty.
Schedule. We'll make coffee for you.
Yeah, they made it very comprehensive. You compare this to the Rivian. You just drive the Rivian.
Yeah.
This is just like.
I kind of like that though.
It's like there are a lot of convenient features for tech nerds, most of which they will not use. But it's the ability for them to say that they could do it if they wanted to.
I get you.
But like, I have like a full-time job, so I don't have time to go through this stuff. I want to get in my car and just go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little.
All right, there's a
little funniness here and there, but it's really not bad, man. The power's decent. Yeah, it needs some suspension work.
Yeah, what is that? Bang.
Yeah, that's the. Oh. Yikes! You hear that? Oh,
it's getting worse.
It is getting worse. Joey, there's only one EV that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's quiet. It's not crazy technical. It looks good. It's simple. And it's easy to maintain.
Huh.
There she is. There she is.
She looks good.
She looks real good, man. If you just listen to some of the clicks.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's what happens when you have 160,000 miles on it. Brake rotors, they could use some love. They've seen better days. I don't know how maintained this car was. There's some dents in the door. Again, rear brakes, same thing. They're not looking so good. And this is what we see a lot of the times for a lot of Teslas in the Northeast. They don't maintain their brakes because they assume, oh, look, it has regen. That's great. And then pretty much the rest of the car disintegrates. But again, for 160,000 miles, seats aren't too bad. Seat isn't too bad there. It held up pretty well. It's really not that bad. Interior isn't bad. There's a couple blemishes. The back of the steering wheel. The dash pad held up pretty well. Here's the driver's seat. There's a slight crease here. Slight crease. I'm thinking, judging by the cheeks, I think a woman was the primary driver. Or a thick man. I don't know. Okay, well, here is the Scam-A-Limma Ding Dong Model 3, and it's in for some advanced diagnostics. We're going to cover this in the next episode. What we're going to do is we're going to tap into the actual battery BMS and look at the individual cell voltages. We have this adapter right here at the top. This is a Bluetooth adapter to connect to your phone, and I'll be using an app called Scan My Tesla to look at the individual modules on the screen to see which battery is actually, which module rather is actually bad. Now, we have to figure out what we're going to do with this thing. Jory, what do you think we're going to do with this? What do you want to do? You want to throw it away? Yeah.
It might fit in the dumpster.
It might fit in the dumpster. We're not going to give up on this thing. Obviously, we have to fix it in some capacity. This thing's going to be rolling before you know it. And maybe there might be some upgrades in the future as well. But stay tuned on the Scam Model 3, and we'll see you guys next week.